Alright, welcome back. And for this episode, we're going to look at a 6-piece standard poor man's rack. As you can see here in the blue one is a version 1, and right behind it we've got version 2. So let's take a little bit of a look at difference, and let's show you how to build that version 2. So here we go. Okay, so with this version 1, this is what you mostly see people build as a poor man's rack, utilizing existing HDP air fiberglass tubes. One of the big things about it, you can tell it's just a single piece. It's a 2x4 base with the tubes actually screwed in. So you can actually, see how pretty sturdy it is. Only thing is you have to put your fuse right across the top of the tubes or the side, and ends up catching the paper on fire, and then you're seeing the labels for the other manufacturers. So I'm not really a big fan of this design, which is why I mentioned multiple times, single solid heavy piece, but mentioned multiple times that you can screw them in. You don't have to. If you screw them in, then you get a solid piece. Makes it a little bit harder to store. So we take a look, and this is the version 2 of the poor man's rack. And it kind of addresses some of the additional differences. So to build it, we've got our nail gun, our glue, our stain to kind of touch it up. So let's go ahead and let's get this kind of set back up for you. Okay, so we'll get our pieces, and again, much like all the other videos, we're going to, just gonna kind of move that out of the way. We're going to go ahead and do basically our rough layout. And as you can tell, I've got an unfinished piece there, much like I have in a previous video, just to kind of show you the difference in staining it in advance or waiting to the end to stain it. So kind of make sure got a little bit of overhang on each side, so it gives a little bit more stability on our base. Okay. And of course, much like some of the other videos, all this was laid out. I found the tube with the biggest base, and I use that as my template. And then of course, always put some glue down first. Again, with this, it's going to be a much lighter rack. And if this is your first time watching, you'll see at the end, how you can store them. Let's go ahead and let's get this. So first thing I'm going to do is, and I'm using 18 gauge 1 1/4 inch nails. So I'll come over to one side, and then come over to the other side. And because this is a larger rack, lengthwise, I'll put pretty much one in the middle, and then one on each side, give it a little extra stability. Like I said, these racks are so easy to build. It just takes a little time. So just kind of take this moment as I'm putting this glue down, just to kind of remind you that if you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel, please do so. Go subscribe in the lower right corner. We have a whole bunch more of these different types of product videos, and hopefully this year, depending upon the world situation going on right now, maybe we'll get a chance to actually kind of demonstrate how these actually function. So you'll be able to see firsthand, the actual rack in action. And of course, also good opportunity to remind you of some of the different shells that we have picked up to use in these racks. You can check those out in our product unboxing videos. So now that I've got the two side pieces done, I'm going to do the end piece. Again, they are cut to have an additional inch on each side. I'm just going to kind of raise this up just real quick so you can kind of see from the side, because I usually like to stand it on end. Of course, it doesn't make it easy to record, a single person trying to record the video of building, but it also you kind of can see why it's a little bit easier to stand on end, especially when you're using a nail gun. Again, you don't have to use screws, you don't have to use anything fancy. This is just more designed to give you a solid, flat surface. So if you're, out in the, doing it out in a grassy area or rocky area, that this will help kind of give you a little bit of stability to set up your shell. And they're easy to transport, and you'll see that later on here in the video as well. And easier to store. So unlike that other 6-piece where I've got 2 of them, they both take up additional room. These can all stack together, so then they take up less storage area. And then the tubes I just would put inside of a like a tote. And of course, obviously, totes can hold a lot of, some of the larger totes can hold a lot of different tubes, so you can make as many racks as suits your needs. Mix and match, and put them in different parts of your shows. That's why it's really kind of cool if you check out the unboxing videos. Kind of discuss what I do with the different shells, so you can get some ideas on sorting of the shells, and of course later on, all things, hopefully if it goes well, we can kind of do some demonstration of some of the different shells utilizing these poor man's racks. So go and finish getting this side. Okay. So you kind of can see how stable that is. And when we put on here are these little end pieces or extensions. Of course, I always lay it out first. So goes my glue. I glue the side, the bottom. And then the only thing I don't do, I probably could do, is flip it over and put a couple nails into the bottom. But with setting them up really for strength wise, by putting 4 on the side and then 2, really connects the 2. Just don't connect it really to the base as well, but I think there's enough nails that will hold it up and be secure enough to be able to transport and not have the racks break on us or get damaged. So let me take a look here. Always check to make sure you have enough nails. These nail guns don't hold a lot, but like I was stating though, on the nails, 18 gauge 1 1¼ inch nails. We'll get this side. Get that put in there. So I think I put 2 over on this side. Pull that a little bit so I can. Just make sure it's sturdy there. And of course on this I'm going to flip it over just to kind of test it. Okay. And there's the so just kind of make sure I have to kind of step off here for just a second because this piece is just a little bit longer, a little bit off on my measurements. But as I get that little piece, you know, cut and trimmed back, it'll just take me just a few moments. But I just got to again remind you, if you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do so. There's the product unboxing. We have a lot of different artillery shells and canister shells, ball shells that we just kind of go through and weigh. And again, throughout those videos, you've heard me say, and you'll probably hear me say it more, is that to hold on to these tubes. This is exactly why we're holding on to these tubes. And you're going to see some videos here where we can actually do a layout. And the great thing about these little racks, you can put them anywhere in your show. They all have a dedicated fuse channel, so you can connect them together. And of course, also check out our show designer templates, because they'll kind of help you in planning preparation for your show. So we'll just kind of get this all. There's an old adage, measure twice, cut once. Well, I measured twice, but for some reason when I measured it on the board, I just didn't cut it to the correct length. So we'll get that corrected. So, and of course with that, instead of cutting that piece, I had another piece that has already been stained. So that's the other advice I would give is, you know, when you're getting your boards, cut your board, or stain your boards first. It'll save you a lot of time when it comes to staining, because it's easier to stain a full board than it is to try to get every little nook and crevice of these. Okay, so go ahead and, yep, this is perfectly lined up. So then all we have to do is just do the touch-up on our wood cuts. And so again, I do one on one side, come over and do the other side and make sure they're lined up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set the nail gun aside. Okay. And again, I just use just a foam brush, touch up my ends with the stain. So by pre-staining the boards, it doesn't take a lot of effort too. And don't worry about getting it on your table. What I'm using as a table right now is the same thing I use as a base. So I will be using that base and restaining that for the next set of videos, which are really kind of cool. Give you some really cool additional ideas on these poor man's racks. I just think it's funny they call them poor man's racks. It was like a box of artillery shells are not cheap, so it always baffled me the people who just throw away their tubes. And I had I was doing some firework show at my brother's last year. There was a couple kids right down the street who were doing artillery shells, and I just walked down there and asked them what they're going to do with their tubes. And I'm like, oh, we're going to throw them away. And I'm like, when you're done, I will be glad to take your tubes off of you, which he did. So they just gave me their tubes. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. I mean, so, you know, everybody's a little bit different. Everybody, you know, a little planning and preparation, and that's why we're here. So you can see I've got it all touched up. Didn't take a lot to get them touched up. From there, was just like all the other ones. I just check. Again, these are all cut using the largest base on one of my or my set of tubes. And of course, I just wrap them because I just think they look cleaner. And the great thing is, even if, you know, the wrapping tears on it, then you know what, I can just always rewrap it. It's just your brown roll paper for painting. I mean, it's really cheap, but there we go. So we're going to get this one out of the way so it dries. Okay. And then just again to kind of show you for storage purposes, unlike the first one, it's all screwed in. Here I've got a 6-piece, a 4-piece, a 3-piece, and a 2-piece. So they all fit nice and neat right inside of each other. So it makes it easier to carry to the job site, or the shoot site I should say, as well as when your show is over. They don't take up a lot of room in your attic or your garage. I mean, with that right there, we've got a 6, a 4, a 3, and 2. So we got 15 shots right there. Just storage-wise, this takes up that much room. So you can, see a bunch of other different pieces out there, other designs. I personally like this one just because, well, A, it's my design, but 2, it's also because it is just simplifies storage and gives me a lot more flexibility to put pieces within my show. So I can mix and match, and we'll cover that here later in a couple other videos. So again, you're going to want to make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. Try to get a video out at least once a week and kind of give the juices flowing, your creative juices. And of course the stain is just so it looks a little bit better than just having bare wood. So when your friends and family are out there as you're setting up, or they want to check out what you're going to do for this year's show, they'll be able to see a nice kind of clean cut display. So again, there's the 2-piece. And of course, they all have the dedicated fuse channel. And 3-piece. And then the 4-piece. And then lastly, there's our 6-piece. Okay. And that is the original set that I built for you. So again, we thank you for watching V3 Pyrotechnic Designs. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Check out some other great videos listed below. Product unboxing, maybe some additional how-to videos. And again, I thank you for watching. Have a great day.